Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the V Report. It's your girl, Nora Natish, and I'm here with my producer, Rick Sincere. We are live again. We're doing it back to back. Maybe we'll do it every week. We'll see. We never know. Rick, I'm so excited because this week has been Greek week. So shout out to all of the amazing sororities that have been celebrating their Founders Day this week. And I will say tomorrow will be the Founders Day for Delta Sigma Theta. So happy Founders Day to the women of Delta Sigma Theta. On Sunday, actually, I'll go to Monday. On Monday, we'll go the Happy Founders Day to those amazing women, amazing Zetas out there, all the beautiful doves. Happy Founders Day to you.
What is that sign? Is it this?
That's
Deltas,
Deltas.
right?
Yes, Deltas. And Zetas are they're yeah, yeah, yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
But on Sunday, Mama's home because it's going to be Happy Founders Day to all the amazing women of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. My sorority and my ladies, Happy Founders Day to us. Shout out to all of us out here celebrating our Founders Day this month. Again, shout out to those our fraternities, Kappa Alpha Psi. Shout out to you guys for Founders Day. So definitely want to, since we are big with the HBCUs on MTMV.
What's the AKA sign? I forgot it.
So we are big with
okay.
we are big with HBCUs. We want to make sure we definitely spread some of that Black Greek love to all of our people that are in those associations and are affiliated. So happy Father's Day, ladies and men. So we had literally the craziest weekend of football. But before we get to that, shout out to the Bills, Damar Hamlin, because he is officially out of the hospital. That was breaking. I was huge all over CNN. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like look what God can do. Because that poor man, I've never been so scared watching a football game to see something so wow happen on TV that was live. So there was no delay. We saw it all happen. And we thought again, we're like, oh, he probably got the wind knocked him. No, he did not. So to see him go from that to FaceTiming his team, saying good luck, to now he's finally leaving. That's just a beautiful thing. And that just shows again that anything is possible when God's involved. And thank you. Again, I'll say it. Thanks everybody for praying and caring about this young man. Thank you, because that was just so scary. And I couldn't imagine if I was a parent to see my child living their dream and then something almost snatches everything away in a second. So shout out to him for getting to come home. Back to this wild card weekend is coming up right now, but we had the crazy weekend last weekend because the Lions knocked out the Packers. The Seahawks are going into the wild card instead of the Lions and the Packers. And I will say this, I'm officially tired of Aaron Rodgers nonsense. I'm officially tired. Breaking here. I'm done because that game was a winnable game. Yes, the Lions are trending upwards. Yes, that's all good. Yeah, all the noise. But you have one job. It's do or die. The Lions found out literally while they're stretching. Oh, well, so we got to win this game. We go to the playoffs. Nah, homie. It's over. You go home. They're like, oh, well, what? And that was their chance to say, well, if we die, we're taking you with us. Like from Squid Games. Like whole sis grabbed him and fell on back with old crazy man. Stand on kill you too. So that's why I'm like, Packers, this was your game to win. Jared Goff made you look like lunch meat. You were literally the NFC North champions for like how many years in a row? Like 5 years in a row. You were like the number one seed in the NFC. I'm just like, you lose to the Lions. You lose to Jared Goff. I'm fed up. I was fed up. I was hurt. That's why it probably hurt me football last week because again, we clinched. So we clinched. Hey. But shout out to Rick Saints because they got a lot of rebuilding to do. And I think they finally realized that Andy Dalton is not that guy. Let's hear, Rick. You still think Andy Dalton's that guy?
Yo, I feel like you're on some type of kill mission today right?
No.
Like, no, because the whole time, like, I would have loved to like talk about some of the other stuff, but you like waited, right? And then you opened up the gate right when you can dive into my things after a failed weekend. And I think it's because you saw me yesterday on the Not the Same podcast. You
Shout
heard my
out the same.
you heard my prediction about the Giants, and you
Oh
couldn't
no,
wait.
no, because it's just wrong.
And you couldn't
It's
wait
just wrong.
to hop in and dive into my Saints and then open up the floor for me right when it's time to kill my team. I got you. But either way, I ain't tripping on that. Yes, we have a lot of rebuilding to do. And we didn't just realize that Andy Dalton wasn't the guy, right? It didn't like just, oh wow, maybe Andy's not the guy. No, heck no. We knew the entire season Andy wasn't a guy, but of the two guys we had, of three guys we had, we're like, yo, maybe Andy's the best guy of the three. Jameis was hurt, and even when Jameis wasn't hurt and leading the offense, it was so stagnant. Not to say that the offense was that much better with Andy, but at least we can get in and out of huddle. He went through his progressions a little bit better. Like, Andy Dalton wasn't the answer, right? Andy Dalton's not the answer. He can't make any phenomenal plays for you. You need a phenomenal play, you don't call Andy. You need a regular, normal 3rd down and 3, maybe, right? But you need like
Taysom Hill.
What'd you say?
That's what you call Taysom Hill. Forget you.
No, you call Taysom Hill for 3rd down and 1, right? But if it's 3rd down and 3, right? You can call. We have pieces of quarterbacks in each one of our quarterbacks, right? If you're down by 10 in the 4th quarter, get Andy off the field, call in Jameis, right? He'll throw the lights out, right? He'll do something like that. But don't call Jameis before the 4th quarter because he's not answering, right? You can call Taysom Hill anytime you get in a goal line situation, but don't ask him to throw the ball deep because it looks like a punt, right? And then for Andy, you can call Andy for the normal, regular stuff, and that's what they went with, right? So they just ran with Andy, and Andy is not the answer. We know that, and there's nothing about Andy Dalton that makes me feel like he is going to be any better going forward. But what he will be is always a mid quarterback. He is the best no, not the best. I'm sorry. He's the most average mid quarterback that you could possibly have.
Well, because you got a mid quarterback, you're going home. And that sucks. I hate that for you. I really do. I was rooting for you guys. I wanted the Bucks to lose so that there's a possibility because you guys beat the Eagles. And hey, okay. But
Aaron actually kicked us out last week. So even before
exactly. Aaron randomly winning kicked you guys out. Oh, I remember because my brother's a diehard Saints fan, and he was just like Aaron Rodgers, we gonna win now? Like really?
Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I was disgusted. But the funniest thing about Aaron winning last week and how the Commanders got knocked out was because the coach did not know that if the Packers won, that they would get eliminated. So the Commanders are so cartoony. They had no idea that if the Packers won that game, they are eliminated. They thought, hey, we can just still have the 7th seed. No, you actually got to win games to get the 7th seed. And losing to the Browns was embarrassing. But then beating and killing the Cowboys was just the most confusing thing I've ever seen. I definitely, I was a betting person, which you all know I am not, I would have bet the Cowboys were going to beat the Commanders and just call it a day. But I was very lost to see that not only did the Cowboys not win, they got smacked around. And the thing is, Dak was playing. It's not Cooper Rush. It's not the Nooch is not back. It was Dak. So I was very confused. And now we're going to Wildcard weekend, and Dak is going to be playing the one, the only Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. So, Rick, how do you feel about that game, and who do you think's going to win?
Oh, I love that. So we're going straight into it, right? And so if we're asking who's going to win between the Cowboys and the Bucks, of course I would say it would be the Cowboys because the Bucks are such a beatable team. And last week I don't necessarily know if the Cowboys were playing with a lot of want to, right? A lot of I want to win, and I don't know if I necessarily saw that from the
It
Cowboys
couldn't be.
last week. No,
If
they
they
couldn't have
wanted to win, you
possibly.
don't throw 3 picks.
So I felt like maybe last week we weren't getting the best version of the Cowboys, and I think this week you will. The question is, will you get the best version of Tom Brady and the Buccaneers? And then how dangerous is the best version of that team? Because at their most dangerous, they're mid. And that is kind of what I've been seeing from that team. But can you get playoff Lenny back? Because you're going to need playoff Lenny really to be a dude, right? You're going to need so much stuff from this Buccaneers team that we haven't been seeing throughout the course of the season. So with that being the case, I think the Cowboys will win this game. If the Cowboys don't win this game, though, that job is up for grabs. So the Cowboys head coaching,
for sure.
yes. And it's going to be Sean Payton. Well, I'm sorry. Jerry Jones going to do everything in his power to go and get Sean Payton if the Cowboys lose that game, because he'll have a reason to do it. Right.
Oh, yeah. They can't win a playoff game if they
cannot.
They can't beat the old Bucks. Because I have the Cowboys beating the Bucks. I'm doing the one thing I would never do, which is bet against Brady. But this is not 30-year-old Brady. This is not even 35-year-old Brady. This is not even 40-year-old Brady. I just don't trust this old team to beat the Cowboys. I agree with you. If the Cowboys were playing hard and they threw 3 picks playing hard, that just shows me that, wow, the Eagles really are going to take that whole line. It's going to be wiped right out. But I definitely know we need to go to a commercial because we have bills to pay. So we're going to go to one of our amazing ads right after this. Right after this.
Yeah. Come on, let go, man. Yeah. I wanna be remembered for the good I did, not for accolades and accomplishments. Did I treat people with the love of God? Walking my purpose, seeking no applause. Did I tear down idols that were in my way? And in my darkest moments, did I keep the faith? Here to give a message, man, forget the fame. Can't allow our hearts to remain the same. We need to change. Get the money, the cars, and the clothes. None of that's gonna last when it's our time to go. Gotta stay focused, gotta run your race. Time to get to it, cause we in the last days. Tell me what's your legacy? What's your legacy? What's your legacy? Tell me what's your legacy?
Okay, guys. Again, thank you so much to Ozell Brand for being the sponsor of this episode. Thank you so much, Ozell Brand, for looking out for your girl and your homeboy over here. And again, if you guys want some fly sneakers, fly cleats for you athletes out there, go to ozellbrand.com. Ozell Brand will hook you up with the flyest gear, have you in uniform with not only just basic drip, but have you having the school drip too. So they know how to make custom shoes, custom sneakers, and custom cleats to keep you, fire out here. And also, hey, shout out to you Greeks. He makes Greek sneakers too. So if you want to just get some random kicks, girls, ladies, get your pink and green, get your red and white, get your crimson and gold, get your, oh my God, get your blue and gold as well to be fly out here in the kicks. He got y'all. And right at those men too. Frat boys, get your sneakers. Have yourself looking fresh, especially y'all younger ones going to, Spring Fest? Get together, get it right. Ozell Brand got your back. And also shout out to our guy, Will Smith, for his amazing Legacy AD comic. Again, support him, support. Because you got to, look out for your people. The other guy, comic book, that's a Christian-based comic book that also just is for anybody to read and learn about different ways to spread the gospel. That's all. So check out Legacy AD with our guy Will Smith and check out ozellbrand.com. Well, we got some more football things tonight. Today's show's not going to be too long because we gave you a long one last week. So this week we're going to kind of shorten it up a little bit because we're only talking football today, baby. And now we already talked about the Cowboys and the Bucks. We're going to now pivot to the topic of the day. Those New York Giants and those Minnesota Vikings after we stop freezing. Oh my God. Yeah, so there you go. So we got the Vikings and the Giants. All right. Rick went on air and to publicly shame my team yesterday and say that the Giants were going to get washed and that the Vikings are going to win. But one thing Rick forgot to mention, this is not 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins. This is not primetime Kirk Cousins. It is 4:30 Kirk Cousins. And you know what happens to Kirk Cousins when he's not at 1 or 8? You know what? I'll tell y'all. Y'all didn't know. He gets washed. So I'm going to, of course, go with my Giants beating the Vikings because we only lost to the Vikings by a 61-yard miracle in Minnesota field goal. But you know what? We got our whole team back. Everybody stacked. Everybody ready to rock and roll. Kirk Cousins is shaking in his boots because he knows that we bringing the heat and them dogs are going to keep him on that ground. You feel me? But haters like Rick, we ain't going to hear Rick right now. But my question for Rick is not who he think going to win. Is do you think whoever wins this game will defeat the Eagles?
That is a great question. I love that question because it's not about who wins this game. It's really about who can win the next one, right? And honestly, I think that the Vikings can give the Eagles a run for their money, right?
Rick is on some. It's Thursday. Y'all, you're not supposed to be on things on Thursdays. It's Friday, Saturday. You turn up. Rick is saying, y'all, you heard it correctly. The Vikings will beat the Eagles.
I didn't say that. I said I think they can give them a run for their money, right? I didn't say they can beat them, but I think they can give them a run for their money. I'm gonna get there. All right. But at the end of the day, I think the Eagles team is too stacked for these type of situations, right? They have a loaded roster, and so when it's time, like when it comes down to it, you look at the Eagles team, and even there's running backs that nobody even really cares about who can really go off. Like Boston Scott can go off, right? Yeah. At any point in time. So you don't really know what's going on. This Eagles team is pretty deep. So as I look at the Eagles squad, I'm thinking that the Vikings just won't have enough to overcome them. But it can be a close game, and the Vikings can sneak one out against the Eagles. So do I think the Eagles can? Maybe. Do I think the Giants can? I'm more so inclined to go no.
Even though the Giants' third string almost beat the Eagles last week.
Yeah. But that wasn't quite the real Eagles to me, right? You have Jalen Hurts coming off an injury. He's playing, but he's just making sure that they get the 1 seed. You look at the team. Your Giants, your third string guys were really playing their hearts out. I'm talking about they were going for
16-20.
Yeah, they were going for it. And even what's my guy, your wide receiver? Was it Galladay? Kenny Galladay?
Yep.
Right? Catches a touchdown.
Yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Man, only on holidays, Kenny Galladay. I like him. But at the end of the day, I don't necessarily know if that Giants team is gonna be playoff ready. Right? I think they did some surprising stuff in the regular season. They were great. They play really high up. I think they can even upset the Vikings. I don't think they will, but I think they can. Now, can they come in and beat the Eagles? Eagles too good of a team, I think, for the Giants to come in there and beat them. So I'm gonna go no. I'm gonna go no for the Giants. I'm gonna go no for the Vikings, but with a higher chance for the Vikings than the Giants.
Okay. So we're gonna stay in the NFC one more time because we're gonna end this whole side. We got the Seahawks and the 49ers. The 49ers are red hot. They are like the team. They're that girl. They're the ones really running the whole game right here. But the Seahawks have been really showing us that Mighty Ducks energy because Geno Smith has I've never seen a quarterback get treated like such crap besides Derek Carr, and be here at this place. He's standing there, and you know what? I'm proud of Gino. I'm proud of Gino for all he's done and all he's been doing. However, those 49ers are so good. And they lost their starting quarterback and they got better. And shout out to Jimmy G for just being fine. So just shout out to you, Jimmy G. And I'm still saying true. But I'm going to go with the 49ers over the Seahawks in this game. They are playing in the Niners Stadium. Christian McCaffrey it's just a different beast. You got George Kittle. It's just and the 49ers defense is just they stacked. So I'm going with Niners here. I'm going to ask Rick, who do you think's going to win that game?
Give me the Niners too. You're right about that. San Francisco defense. Nick Bosa really had a phenomenal year. 18.5 sacks this year. That defense has been legit. Then you add a guy like Christian McCaffrey mid-season, right? George Kittle, the return, the revitalization of George Kittle, and that was one thing that I thought was lost, right? When they went with the other quarterback outside of Jimmy G. I thought that maybe you would lose that connection between Jimmy G and George Kittle. George Kittle is like, yo, honestly, I'm kind of quarterback proof, right? You put in Brock Purdy, I'm going to go off. You put in Jimmy G, I'm going to go off, right? Now, you put in Trey Lance, I might not go off. I don't know why, right? I don't know why, but that's kind of been the deal. But George Kittle has really, really had a phenomenal return, right?
Yep.
If I look at this 49ers team overall, they look really scary. Gino and that receiving court look like they're not really on the same page right now. DK Metcalf has not been a dog in the last few games. And that's a little bit scary to me going into this game against the San Francisco 49ers, who look like they're clicking on all cylinders, especially getting their running backs back. And so now they have two interchangeable running backs. I mean, it's definitely clear that Christian McCaffrey's the guy, right? But now if you look at them across the board, and Debo's back too, that San Francisco 49ers squad looks scary, and I think they're going to make a serious run this playoff.
I agree. I think the Niners that's why I like my pick. If I was to pick after, if the football gods decide to destroy the Giants for no reason, I can understand. The 49ers are my pick. Because I do think if it gets down to the nitty-gritty, I think the 49ers will bow to it would be like the best football game, the 49ers versus the Eagles, to me. I think that would be a great football game.
If the football guys destroy you, it's because you believed in them.
Anyway, let's go to the AFC side of the tracks. We have the Chargers are going to be playing. Oh, wow. The Jaguars. That just definitely left my head. We got, that should be a decent game. Justin Herbert versus Trevor Lawrence. Everybody kind of wrote Trevor Lawrence off. However, he's doing pretty well. And there we go. So he's doing pretty well. So I think, if I'm going to be real, not biased, I do like Trevor Lawrence. I like him as a quarterback. I think he's a cool vibe in Jacksonville. But I got to go with Justin Herbert. I think he's the more experienced quarterback and just has to really show up in those moments. And that's my pick. I'm going with the Chargers.
I like that. I like the Chargers over the Jaguars only because of the youth of that Jaguar squad. But their coach has been there before, right?
Yes.
Their coach has led a Eagles team to the Super Bowl before and won it, right? With a less talented quarterback in Nick Foles.
And beat Tom Brady.
So you saw, so that, and remember how he did it with the Philly special, right? Really going, doing what underdogs should do against teams that are, more heavily favored, where I pull out all the stops and I'm going to beat you, right? No matter what it is, you better come really prepared to die today because we're ready to die on this field. And so, kind of like that is what I'm thinking about with this Jaguar squad. Are you ready for that? Are y'all like that? And can you beat a beatable Chargers team? I don't think they can yet. I really don't. But at the end of the day, man, it's a little bit possible because of the experience of that head coach. And if head coaching matters, it's going to matter here.
Exactly. I think this game's more the battle of the coach because Justin Herbert, he's just skating under the radar for pretty much this I'll say this season because he just was skating. We weren't really me and you nor you cared about Chargers this year. So it's like we weren't wasn't in conversation, but they did pretty well. But the Jags, they definitely had the Cinderella story and made that rebirth and return. So that's why, like, it might we gotta see who pretty much here. Whoever coaches the best will win this game. Because again, Justin Herbert, I think, is the better quarterback. However, I've seen them lose some games that just didn't make any sense. Like, but again, you were saying something.
No, that's another job that could be up, right? Like, you look at this Chargers squad. If let's say the Chargers go out there and lose to the underdog Jaguars, right? Coaching job in LA, and that's the one that everybody knows that Sean Payton prefers. He lives in LA right now.
Oh,
right? He likes that situation. You would come into a situation with a very talented quarterback. That's the job that he prefers. And if that job becomes available, right? And if the Denver Broncos ownership team doesn't overwhelm him with a salary, with salary offer, then that may be that'll be a job where he goes. So I'm thinking the Chargers in that situation. I think the Chargers will win, but if they lose, expect a lot of news coming out of San Diego. Coming out of Los Angeles.
I agree. You guys are going to be expecting you're going to hear some noise if the Chargers lose. That's just facts. Now we're going to go to our next team, which is the Dolphins versus the Bills. Woo. The Bills shoot. All right, so as of this morning, Tua will not be playing on Sunday. So that means you're with whomever the quarterback may be versus the Bills, who are red hot right now. I got the Bills easily.
I like what you're saying here because Skylar Thompson, him not great. And so at the end of the him no good. So as overall, the Bills team, I said this on the Not the Same podcast. The Bills team is a ridiculously talented team, and now they're playing with added purpose.
Yep.
What does that mean? Oof. What do you do with that? And then they just added, so they went out and added Cole Beasley to their roster just to make sure that they had a slot guy just in case, right?
That's smart.
Yep.
They know what they're doing.
They really do. When they added Naheem Hines, and I thought about what they already had, in Cook and running in the backfield. When they added Hines, right now he's returning kicks, and you saw he returned for a touchdown last week. And it really gave DeMar Hamlin all the joy in the world, right?
Yes, he was overjoyed. It fueled because right after that, he gets out of the hospital a few days later. So the Bills, like you said, they got that added bit of magic, bit of blessing on them, and poor Dolphins, because they are just our only hope has officially been ruled out with concussion. We are toast.
Listen, it's gonna be nasty. I'm thinking, give me if I don't know what the line is right now, but whatever it is, give me the Bills over the Dolphins. If it's 14 minus 14, give me the Bills to cover the spread. I think it's gonna be a nasty game. Thompson better come with it, and he don't have it in him.
Our last game is going to be the Bengals versus the Ravens. As of what I heard this morning, around 10, Lamar Jackson they don't know if he's going to be, playing on Sunday. We have no idea. However, we know one thing. When Lamar's not out there, them Ravens are not the same team. However, we do know that man Joe Burrow going to be out there, and so will be Jamar Chase. And they are red hot. They trended upward immediately, snatched the number one spot in the AFC East. Yep, shout out to me. AFC East. And North. Wow. The AFC North, and snatched it. Because that was supposed to be the Ravens, that was supposed to be theirs. However, if I'm Lamar Jackson, if you're Lamar Jackson, Rick, would you play or sit out and get that better contract?
Lamar Jackson released a statement today, and he talked about the inflammation in his knee, right? He kind of gave his own update, right, via Twitter. Yep. And he was like, you know what? My knee is still sore and I would love to be out there with my guys, but I'm not at 100% right now. And so I won't be able, to really be, myself on the field. And so with that being the case, then I am 100%, and I mean 100%, for him not playing. I would,
no, don't play.
no, I can't play. I wouldn't be playing in that particular situation. And so, what would I be doing though? Like, it was something that I would do. One of the things that I would do though, is just basically start working on my big contract I'm gonna get this off season, right? Because he is his own agent, so he needs to start putting those numbers together. All the time he has free needs to be him working in the lab on his new contract. Outside of that, and rehabbing, right? Just in case he can play the following week. But I'm gonna tell you something, Lamar. Don't worry about it, brother. This is it. The season's over after this week. And even though the Ravens have been playing exceptionally well not exceptionally well, but they've been playing very okay, right?
They've been winning.
They've been winning. And what do I mean by very okay and exceptionally well? I just mean like without Lamar, they've still been carrying games and winning games. That means that the core of that team is really good and have a lot of talent there. And now you just add a special quarterback and then boom, right?
Exactly, you're set.
But don't worry about it. This week, it's not happening.
All right, you guys heard it here. We picked our wild card games, and we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we're coming back with another reaction. We don't know if it's a video, we don't know what's gonna be, but we're gonna react to it right after this.
Yeah. Come on, let go, man. Yeah. I wanna be remembered for the good I did, not for accolades and accomplishments. Did I treat people with the love of God? Walking my purpose, seeking no applause. Did I tear down idols that were in my way? And in my darkest moments, did I keep the faith? Here to give a message, man, forget the fame. Can't allow our hearts to remain the same. We need to change. Get the money, the cars, and the clothes. None of that's gonna last when it's our time to go. Gotta stay focused, gotta run your race. Time to get to it, cause we in the last days. Tell me what's your legacy? What's your legacy? What's your legacy? Tell me what's your legacy?
Hey guys, this is
Hi, Miracle. Okay, so we're here. We're back. Rick, this is your segment.
Here we go. You ready? So look, and what I was gonna, it's so funny. I would just put my arm down like this, boom, and then my headphones came straight out. But this is something that was released earlier today by Derek Carr, quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders. He wanted to send a message to Raider Nation, and he wanted to send a message to his team. Are you ready for this message?
I'm ready.
Awesome. Have you read this?
No.
All right, here we go. This is Derek Carr's message. All right, Raider Nation, it breaks my heart I didn't get an opportunity to say goodbye in person. We certainly have been on a roller coaster in our 9 years together. From the bottom of my heart, I'm so grateful and appreciative of the years of support you gave to my family and me. We had our share of both heartbreaking moments and thrilling game-winning drives, and it always felt like you were there next to me. It's especially hard to say goodbye because I can honestly say that I gave you everything I had every single day, in season and the off season. It certainly wasn't perfect, but I hope that I was able to leave you with more than a few great memories as Raider fans. Thank you to the city of Oakland for taking us in. Thank you to the city of Las Vegas for allowing us to proudly call you home. Thank you to the organization, my teammates, all my coaches, staff, and everybody that helped me these last 9 years in those two buildings. Thanks to all of Raider Nation that supported, encouraged, pushed, and uplifted me at different times along this journey. Raider Nation is truly special. I once said that if I'm not a Raider, I would rather be at home, and I meant that. But I never envisioned it ending this way. That fire burning inside of me to win a championship still rages. A fire no man can extinguish, only God. So I look forward to a new city, a new team, who, no matter the circumstance, will get everything I have. Winning a championship. is what I've always wanted and what I continue to work towards. God bless you all. With love, DC4. What's your reaction, V?
Wow. You could. I now understand why this man cried on TV for his coach. He's just emotional. Now he wrote it so beautifully and poetically. I don't think he wrote it, but I think whoever wrote it so beautifully and poetically. But I think it's really funny that he's like, I don't want to be ready, I want to be at home. However, I am going to find another team to go play because he's I gotta make some coins. I get you, Derek Carr. And you know what? Team could probably use Derek Carr. Those who that Saints.
Hey, yeah.
Y'all don't got no quarterback. So I'm just going to say
it's been brought up. It's been brought up in a lot of different circles, right? Where would Derek Carr go? And it seems like a perfect fit because we don't have a great option on our roster, and Derek Carr could really do well. But the question is, what would the Saints offense look like next year? We don't know. We're about to lose Michael Thomas. He restructured his contract so that he could be released without it costing the Saints too much in dead cap. So that's about to happen, right? We don't have a first round draft pick at this moment, but we're about to try to get one. And if we get one in the high, if we get a draft pick and it's really in like top 10 of the draft, would you not go and grab a quarterback of the future and go trade for a Derek Carr? Because what are you giving up for a Derek Carr? Because it's not going to be a lot. It shouldn't have to be a lot because you apparently don't want him, so his value's decreased, right? But how much did it decrease, and what are you going to try to get from us? That's another thing. And then Derek Carr, would you want to come in a situation where you don't know if you're the guy forever? Because remember, he said you're going to get everything I got, right? And he wants to freely give you everything he has without looking over his shoulder. So where's Derek going from here? We don't know. Could he be a Saint and be okay in that system? I think there's enough weapons there, right? For him to be good. But he had the leading running back in the league this year.
He had the best wide receiver on the team.
He had the best wide receiver, leading running back, and the best tight end, one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get it done.
Maybe.
Was it the offense, right? That's Josh McDaniels, though. So, that offense should be pretty decent. I really don't know, right? They were playing well at one point during the season. The Saints have less weapons. Well, the Saints have no, they're pretty good weapons. The Saints have pretty good weapons. Yeah, pretty decent weapons. But I really don't know if Derek Carr is going to come in and be a savior. And I think the Saints need a savior. Like they need a guy who's going to be the guy for a minute. They need a new Drew. They need they need a really really great quarterback. And Derek Carr proves to me to be a very above average quarterback, but maybe not the guy. So I don't know.
We'll see.
I wouldn't
Derek
give up
Carr,
the
y'all. You heard him. You heard it here. You read it on wherever Rick got it from. He is officially no longer a Raider.
Well, see, here's the thing, though.
We have the contract.
That's not how it works. Like you just can't say goodbye and it'd be like
it's been fun. Bye.
Yeah, because remember last year Jimmy G was supposed to be on his way out.
Yeah,
right.
All this all right, bye, and Jimmy G's right there.
So Derek, I don't know if this was a little bit, premature. Maybe he wanted to like drum up.
Yeah, he's trying to give you some drama build up, and then you're like, but you can't just quit.
Yeah, you can't just like I'm going home.
Man, I see you. It's been real. Naked.
So I love what I hear him, right? I just don't know if it's gonna really play out like this, because what if the market is very low for him, like 7th round picks only?
Exactly.
Right? 6th round picks only, because would you go out? Okay, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna just throw some names out and you tell me this or that. Okay. Derek Carr or Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones. He's younger. Better arm. More athletic.
Derek Carr, Russell Wilson.
Derek Carr right now. Wait, current Russell Wilson? Derek Carr. Easily.
Okay. Derek Carr or Sam Darnold?
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr or Desmond Ridder?
I'm gonna go Derek Carr still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Derek Carr or Jared Goff?
I feel like that's like even. The evens are even. They're even Steven.
Derek Carr or Geno Smith?
Oh, right now, this Gino. Yeah.
This Geno, right?
Mm.
Okay. Derek Carr or Andy Dalton?
Derek Carr. You should answer that own question for yourself.
Derek Carr or Dak Prescott?
Dak Prescott. Don't do that.
All right, I just kind of went wild the last one, but honestly though, across the board, Derek Carr is still better than a few different quarterbacks out there, right?
Oh, definitely.
And Derek, there should be some type of market for him. But then again, you're coming into a pretty good quarterback class in the draft this year, right? And so
yes, that's the problem.
And some people may go in that route. Now, everybody loves to bring in a bridge quarterback. The question is Derek Carr your bridge? Because there'll be a few bridge quarterbacks on the market, but is Derek Carr the bridge or not? I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see. Rick, shout out to us. I think we had another good episode.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, we did
I like
good, y'all.
it.
We did good.
We did good. How you want to end it?
Well, it's been real, guys.
All right, y'all.
Well,
God bless
you guys
y'all.
continue to be safe out there. We just, again, thank you guys so much for supporting our show each and every week. And as much as we can do, We're going to do more live shows so you guys get to see us mess up on air. Hey, or see us thrive. We're thrivers, we're survivors. So you can see us just do what we got to do and do our thing best. And continue to share our show with your friends because we got some new goals this year. We got some new stuff we're going to bring you. We are definitely bringing back interviews. XFL's around the corner. We're media credentialed people now, so we be out there. So you never know what we gonna bring. But one thing I can say is that we're gonna keep it authentic and real on this show.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to say?
Nope. I love y'all.
All right. Take care. Be blessed. Bye.